Hello everyone. Let's find another inverse. Find an inverse of a function. Well, if we let's say we have a function like this, f of x equal x squared plus 5, and we are asked to find the inverse, f negative 1 of x, right? With this negative 1, little negative 1 here, meaning this is the inverse of this function, right? So the main idea with the inverses and finding inverses is that the x and y change places. So we should do this. F of x is actually y. And then when we do this, we have x and y. To find inverse, we need to make x and y change places. Now, only x and y change places. Everything else stays. Equals, square, plus 5, any other term that doesn't have x in it, or y, just stays where it is and how it is. So, in this case, let's say we change the green, and y will become x, and then this x will become y, but the 2 stays where it was, right? And then plus 5. Now, all we need to do is solve for this new y, right? Well, to solve for it, we need to, well, take away 5 on both sides. So we get x minus 5 equal to y squared. Now, since we are solving for y and not y squared, the next thing to do would be to do the opposite of squaring, which is square root. So we need to square root both sides. Now, if we did it, so we can cancel the square, and that's what we accomplished. So now y is by itself. So we get y equals, and then I just moved y to the other side, and I'm going to move this to this side, just for the looks of it, nothing else. And then remember, when we are taking a square root of something, we actually have plus minus, right? Because let's say square root of 25, like this, square root of 25 is 5, but it's also negative 5, because 5 times 5 is 25, but also negative 5 times negative 5 is also 25, right? So we have plus minus. So this is actually our inverse. So f inverse of x. Now, as you might know already, this is actually, graph of this looks like a horizontally oriented parabola. And that graph will not pass a vertical line test, which means this here is not a function. If we want it to be a function, then we will have to restrict the domain. We'll have to restrict the domain of the original function, so we have only half a parabola. And then from the vertex of it to one of the sides. And then this here would actually be a function, because we would get rid of these double signs here. It's going to be either just a square root of x minus 5 or a negative square root of x minus 5. So anyways, the main idea here is that if we are trying to find an inverse of a function, what we need to do is make x and y change places, because that's what inverse is. Inverse is obtained by making x and y change places. So that's what we did here in the green step. And then we usually need to solve for the new y, which we did right here, and we obtained our inverse of this given function. I hope you liked the video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you don't forget to smile.